Hello and welcome to today's class. In today's class, we will be discussing some examples and in-text questions of motion chapter. So, example 8.1. So, the question says an object travels 16 meter in 4 seconds and then another 16 meter in 2 seconds. What is the average speed of the object, right? So, what is given? Given total distance traveled, how much? 16 meter plus 16 meter is equal to 32 meters, right? What else is given? Total time is how much? 4 seconds plus 2 seconds is equal to 6 seconds, right? What you need to find? Average speed. So, to find average speed, right? So, what is the formula for average speed? So, average speed formula, average speed is equal to total distance travelled by total time taken, right? Now, see the solution, we will put only the values now, okay. So, solution part, total distance travelled, average speed is equal to total distance travelled is how much? 32 meters, right? Total time taken is 6 seconds. So, this on simplification you will get 5.33 meter per second, right? So, moving on to next question. So, now we will see some in-text questions. The first question says distinguish between speed and velocity, right? So, we have to differentiate between speed and velocity, right? So, we will make two columns, one is speed and other velocity. So, first point, we will write the definition part, right? Definition is also a difference, right? We know that speed is the distance travelled per unit time. So, it is distance travelled per unit time, right? And here it is displacement travelled per unit time. Displacement per unit time, right? Then second is speed is a scalar quantity and velocity is a vector quantity. Speed, so it is a scalar quantity, right? You know what are scalar quantities? Quantities which require only magnitude, right? And velocity is vector quantity, vector quantity, right? Vector quantities are quantities which require both magnitude and direction to express themselves, right? So, speed is a scalar quantity and velocity is a vector quantity, right? Now, see the next difference. Since speed is distance travelled per unit time and distance can never be 0, right? So, speed can never be 0, okay. It can never be 0, right? Now velocity is displacement per unit time. Okay, so if a body starts from a particular position and comes back to the same position, the displacement is 0, right? So velocity can be 0. Okay, so can be 0, and what is that condition? When the object comes back to its original position. Okay, next point is speed is always positive. Since distance can never be negative, time can never be negative, so speed is always positive. Okay, it can never be 0, it can never be negative, so it is always positive, right? Now, so velocity can be positive also and negative also. Okay, so it can be positive or negative. So these are some differences between speed and velocity. Okay, moving on to the next question. So the question says, under what conditions is magnitude of average velocity of an object equal to its average speed, right? So see, average speed is what? Speed is distance by time, right? And velocity is displacement by time, right? We know that if a body travels in straight line, then the value of distance and displacement is same, right? So we know that when a body moves in a straight line, distance is equal to displacement, right? So if the body is moving in a straight line, then the average velocity of the object is equal to its average speed, right? So what we can conclude, if a body moves in straight line, then average speed is equal to average velocity, right? Moving on to the next question. So the next question says, what does the odometer of an automobile measures? We all know odometer is what? Odometer is an instrument which is used to measure the distance travelled by the vehicle, right? We have in our vehicle, no, car or bike or anything, we have two types of meters. One is odometer and other is speedometer. Speedometer tells you that with what speed you are moving, and odometer tells you what distance you have covered, right? So the question is, what does the odometer of an automobile measures? So it measures the distance travelled, right? So next question. Question is, what does the path of the object look like when it is in uniform motion, right? We know what is uniform motion. Uniform motion is when a body moves equal distance in equal time interval, right? So if a body is covering equal distance in equal time interval, then the path of the object, if you are tracing the path, you will get a straight line, right? So the path of the object is a straight line when the object moves in uniform motion, right? Okay. So next question. The question says, during an experiment, a signal from the spaceship reached the ground station in 5 minutes. What was the distance of the spaceship from the ground station? The signal travels with the speed of light, that is 3 into 10 power 8 meter per second, right? So what they are saying, suppose spaceship is here, okay, at this particular position, okay, here you have spaceship, right, and the ground station is here, right, this is your ground station, right. So a signal is coming from spaceship to the ground station, okay, and what they are saying, it takes 5 minutes, okay. So t is equal to 5 minutes, that is 5 into 60 seconds. So 300 seconds it takes for a signal to reach from this position to this position, okay. What was the distance of the spaceship from the ground station? So what you need to find, you need to find this distance, okay. This distance is denoted by s, so this you need to find, right. So what is given to you? Given time is equal to 300 seconds, right. Then what else? Velocity of light is given or speed of light is given. So v is equal to 3 into 10 power 8 meter per second, okay. And what you need to find? To find distance, s is equal to how much, okay. What formula you are going to use? Simple speed formula. So formula is speed is equal to distance upon time. So distance is equal to speed into time, right. So we'll put the values now. So solution, distance is equal to, speed is 3 into 10 power 8 meter per second into time is 300 seconds. So this second and this second cancelled, right. 3 into 300 is 900. So we get 900 into 10 power 8 meter, or 9 into 10 power 10 meter, right. Okay. So now we will see some examples. Example 8.2 of the chapter, okay. So the question says, an odometer of a car reads 2000 kilometer at the start of a trip and 2400 kilometer at the end of the trip. If the trip took 8 hours, calculate the average speed of the car in kilometer per hour and meter per second, okay. So what is given? Distance covered by the car, distance, it started with 2000 kilometer and finally 2400 was measured in the odometer. So the distance traveled is 2400 minus 2000, okay, that is 400 kilometer, okay. And how much time is required for this? T is equal to 8 hours, okay. What you need to find? Average speed in kilometer per hour and in meter per second, okay. So first we will find average speed in kilometer per hour, okay. So we know the formula of average speed, average speed is equal to total distance traveled, right, divided by total time taken. Okay. So, how much is the distance here? V average. How much is distance? 400 kilometer. And how much time? 8 hours, right. So, you get 50 kilometer per hour, right. So, average speed in terms of kilometer per hour is 50. Okay. Now, we will see average speed in terms of meter per second. So, to average speed in meter per second. Okay. So, we have already calculated V average is equal to 50 kilometer per hour, right. Now, we know that 1 kilometer is 1000 meter, right. So, if you want to convert this kilometer into meter, so 50 into, I can write this as 1 kilometer divided by 1 hour, right. So, 50 into 1000 meter divided by 1 hour is 60 minutes. So, 60 into 1 minute, right. Now, we know 1 minute is 60 seconds. So, 50 into 1000 by 60 into 60 seconds, right. Now, you see one thing here, if you simplify this particular portion, right. So, what you will get, this cancelled, okay, 2 5s are 10 and 2 3s are 6. So, 5 by 18. So, this portion comes as 5 by 18, right. That means, whenever you want to convert kilometer per hour into meter per second, right. So, this is the multiplying factor. If you multiply kilometer per hour by 15 by 18, you will get the value in meter per second. Okay. So, when you simplify this, you get this as 13.9 and unit is meter per second. So, here my unit will be meter per second, right. So, again I will repeat, if you want to convert kilometer per hour into meter per second, this is the multiplying factor. You multiply that particular number by 15 by 18 and you will get meter per second. Okay. So, next example 8.3. So, the question says Usha swims in a 90 meter long pool. She covers 180 meter in 1 minute by swimming from one end to other and back along the same path. Find the average speed and average velocity of Usha, right. So, now what is the total distance travelled? See what is given to us. This is a pool, okay, this is a pool, right. Usha started from this particular position, right, and she came till this end, right. And what is this distance? This distance is this distance is 90 meter, right. Then again she went back, that means total distance covered by her is 90 plus 90, that is 180 meter, right, to and fro, okay, right. So, total distance travelled is 180 meter. and how much time she took for this? Total time is 1 minute. Okay, so time is equal to 1 minute, right? We need to find average speed and average velocity. Okay, so formula for average speed average speed is equal to what? Total distance traveled, total distance by total time, right? So what is the total distance traveled? 180 meter. Okay, so V average is equal to 180 meter by total time taken is 1 minute, right? We'll convert this minute into seconds. Okay, so 180 meter divided by 60 seconds. So you will get this as 3 meter per second. This is average speed, right? Now average velocity. What is average velocity? It is displacement by total time, right? So average velocity is equal to displacement by total time, right? Now you just try to understand that Usha started from this position, she went up to this position and again came back to the same original position. So what is the displacement? 0, because she started from here and now again she is here only, same point. So the displacement is 0. So 0 by total time taken is 60 seconds, right? So 0 by anything is 0. So you get 0 meter per second, right? So the average speed is 3 meter per second and average velocity is 0 meter per second, right? So I hope you have understood the explanation of all the example and in-text questions. If you have any doubt, you ask me in the comment section. Thank you very much. Do not forget to like, share and subscribe my channel. Press the bell icon to get the latest updates on upcoming videos.